So my first question is about blind spots.
Blind spots.
Yes.
Do you mean metaphorically or physiologically?
Metaphorically.
Yes.
I've created negative experiences.
How exciting. Why?
I'm not sure.
Sure you are.
Um,
Don't you understand the motivational mechanism as we have described it? Would you like us to explain it again?
Please do.
All right. Please understand again what we are describing here is a mechanism. It's physics. This is how it works. Yes? All right. All of you have a motivational mechanism. It means without fail, immediately, instantly, automatically, no exceptions. You always choose in the direction you believe serves you best. Always. You always move away from what you believe does not serve you. Always. That means if you can see that you're choosing things that don't serve you, the only reason that can happen, if you understand the motivational mechanism, is because you must have a belief attached to things that make them seem like they serve you when they don't. So you need to find out what definition would you have attached to your motivation to make you choose something you know doesn't serve you, because the only way you would choose it is that you've made it seem like it does, better than the alternative. When you can discover what that belief is and identify it consciously, you will see it makes no sense. As soon as it makes no sense, you will drop it. Then your motivational mechanism will turn in the opposite direction, and you'll start choosing things that actually are to your benefit, because you have identified why you were choosing something that wasn't, because you were making it appear as if it was. That's how it works.
I think I was creating the negative experiences to call my attention to that you just said.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what did you get out of doing that?
Well, I got greater awareness.
Well, then it served you in that way.
Yeah.
But you can also realize that you can have greater awareness by doing it in a different way too.
Yeah, that's the essence of my question is,
Yes.
Is there a way?
Of course.
And what's that?
Well, again, this is why we give you the formula.
Okay.
Because the formula is all-inclusive and gives you and brings you, through synchronicity as the organizing principle, every single relevant experience you need in life to learn what you need to learn, to be more of who you are. It leaves nothing out. It's a complete kit. Go to your dictionaries and look up the word complete. It leaves nothing relevant out. So follow the formula. Again, we cannot say this enough. We are not sharing these principles and these ideas with you because they are a nice philosophy, although they are. But they are not just a philosophy. That's an actual description of how existence works. We're literally giving you an instruction manual no different than if we were to hand you an instruction manual to operate a piece of machinery. If you follow the instructions, the machine will work as advertised to your advantage. If you don't, the machine may work, but maybe to your disadvantage. You may injure yourself because you're not following the instructions. So the formula, acting on your passion to the best you can, with no insistence, no assumption as to the outcome, opens up the kit that contains the tools: driving engine, synchronicity is the organizing principle, the path of least resistance, path that connects you to all other forms and expressions of your excitement, leaves nothing out that's relevant for you, the reflective mirror that reveals what is out of alignment so you can bring it back into alignment. It supports you in whatever way, shape, or form you need to be supported to continue to act on your excitement, and then remaining in a positive state no matter what happens, because you understand it doesn't matter what happens, it only matters what you do with what happens. That's the entire instruction manual. There are no more instructions. The end.
Thank you.
Now, we can go on and on and on, as we have for 35 of your years, about delineating and exploring and fleshing out and getting into the details more and more deeply, more and more clearly about each of those points in the instruction manual, but there are no more instructions. So everything we do is just a clarification of the instructions we've already delivered. So if you just understand that that literally is a description of the structure of existence, and it is an instruction manual for how reality works, and you use the instructions, the machine will operate as advertised to your advantage. If you don't, then you're swimming upstream, you're resisting the flow. You might injure yourself, you might have negative experiences that you don't prefer because you're not following the instruction manual you were given. Simple as that. Does this make sense?
It does. It does.
Oh, thank you.
And I have a clarifying question actually.
Yes.
About one piece. So sometimes recently I've been very, very afraid.
Very
Afraid.
of.
Afraid of what might happen in the future.
Well, that's the easiest question to ask to reveal what the negative beliefs are that you're holding on to, that you think benefit you somehow. That's exactly the perfect question to ask. If I did, in fact, allow myself to be who I prefer to be and follow my passion in the way I would prefer to, what am I most afraid might happen?
Yeah.
That will usually reveal the negative belief. And then you have something to work with and ask yourself, well, why do I believe that to be true? Why do I believe that it benefits me to hold on to that? What am I afraid of in terms of the alternative? Why do I have a definition of the alternative that's supposed to be my excitement that I would be defining as something negative?
Yeah.
Because again, that would instantly tell you that you don't have a clear definition of excitement. Because if you actually had a clear definition of your passion, you would understand that by definition, your passion cannot contain a negative experience. And when you say, well, I'm going to act on my passion, but if I do, something negative might happen, that's not a definition of your passion. It's a different definition that you're working with.
Uh-huh.
So you have to be very clear and precise about your definitions.
Yeah. Thank you.
And when you hear things come out of your mouth or thoughts go through your head that sound like facts, you have to stop yourself and catch yourself and remember they're not facts. They're just opinions, perspectives, and beliefs, and they can be changed. Yes?
Yes.
Because when people on your planet say, well, everyone knows how difficult that is, no, they don't. It's not a fact. It's a fact that you believe it, but it's not an empirical fact unto itself that things have to be a struggle. That's just an opinion, a perspective, and what you've been taught. It's a belief that you bought into as true. And that's all it is. And those things can always be changed. The only things that can't be changed are what we call the 5 laws, the only 5 facts we have ever found in existence. You exist, everything is here and now, the one is all, the all are one, what you put out is what you get back, and everything changes but the laws. That's it. Everything else is a perspective.
Thank you.
Does that help?
It does.
Thank you.
I have a question about forgiveness.
Forgiveness, yes.
So when I decide I want to forgive someone,
Yes.
one method I reach for is imagining that they're doing the absolute best they can given their past and current circumstances.
Yes, they are.
Sort of
All of you are.
Yeah, like a forgive them, Father, they know what not they do kind of idea.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yes.
But I notice that sometimes sets up in me a subtle like superiority of them, which is
Well, then you have to examine things within you that you need to forgive within yourself.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes. I was going to ask, the question is, what is there a frame of reference I could use for forgiveness that wouldn't lead me down that path as much? Or is it just the one that you just said to forgive myself?
Well, again, you understand that some people may simply never have been taught the tools they need to express themselves in a more positive way. So you can come from compassion in the same way that you don't really hold a child to blame or responsible for something that they don't understand how to do better. Yes?
Yes.
You teach them how to do it better. Now, it doesn't mean they have to choose it.
Right.
But the idea is that you need to be the shining example that will allow them to know that at least there's an option for how they could be living their life more joyfully by seeing that you're doing it. Because generally speaking, when you see empowered people, you want to know how they're empowered. And you will want to figure out how to do the same thing for yourself. So teaching them the instruction manual, how it works, will at least give them the option. They may still be holding on to beliefs that won't let them abide by it or use it to their advantage, but you've done what you can, and what they do with what you've taught them is none of your business.
Right. I can have compassion for their experience and respect their choices.
And absolutely respect their choices, because you don't know what their path actually is.
No.
And you don't know what they really might need to go through in order to have a greater appreciation when they finally do understand how to transform.
Yeah.
All you can do is give them some options and be on your way.
Thank you.
Does that help?
That does.
All right.
And just in parting, what frequency are you reading in me?
Right now,
Yes.
about 156,000 cycles per second.
Thank you very much.
You're
My
very welcome.
unconditional love to you, Bashar.
And you as well.